Spirited Away, it's just as magical as it sounds. At a young age, my whole life was transformed when I was introduced to the adventurous world of Studio Ghibli. From the whimsical witches of Kiki's Delivery Service to the never ending portals that led to different dimensions in Howl's Moving Castle, anime truly reshaped my imagination. So today I'm going to be talking to you all about anime. For those of you already immersed into the world of anime, I'm sure we all have a top roster of our favorite characters. If you aren't so knowledgeable about anime, the cool thing is you can create your own fantasy within the anime world. My love for anime started, as I mentioned before, with Miyazaki's Spirited Away movie. I instantly fell in love with the vibrant colors, the storytelling, and the Japanese culture. I also have credible sources that can back up my claims as to why anime is so amazing. As we dive into today's presentation, I'm going to be talking about Japanese culture and its heavy use of mythology, the art form of manga and its role in pop culture, and the different genres of anime. If we're talking about culture, we must start with two well known deities. First being Tsukuyomi, the moon god. His name derives from combining two words, suku meaning moon and yomi meaning to read or to look at. Thus, his name literally translates to moon reader or one who looks at the moon. He has many attributes as a god, including superhuman strength, immortality, energy blades, and control over tide and moon illusions. In a 2017 article called Myths About the Moon, it states the Japanese moon god, Tsukuyomi, was born from a mirror made of white copper. He climbed a stairway to the heavens, and there he lived with his sister Amaterasu, the goddess of the sun. That brings us to our second deity, Amaterasu, the sun god. Her name can be translated to the great divinity that illuminates the heavens. She is known to be a central figure in Shintoism, which is an indigenous Japanese religion. She as well has attributes as a god, which includes immortality, superhuman strength, control over light, and heat conjuring. These deities play a major role in many anime storylines, many of which can be derived from Japanese mythology and culture. Now that we've established the culture of anime, let's talk about the art form associated with it, which is also known as manga. Manga has a deep history in Japan, beginning with fushi, which is Japanese for caricature. Little known fact, up until the Taisho period, which took place between 1912 to 1926, manga was called punchi or punch art or Punch Picture, excuse me. In the 2018 book published by Taylor and Francis Group, it reads Japanese comics do not exist in a vacuum. They are closely connected to Japanese history and culture, including such areas as politics, economy, family, religion, and gender. Therefore, they reflect both of the reality of Japanese society and the myths, beliefs, and fantasies that Japanese have about themselves, their culture, and their world. Today, manga can be seen heavily in pop culture, from the fashion to merchandise, even anime themed cafes. Also, it can be seen in contemporary art, which draws from manga comics. Now, if we're speaking about manga, we can't forget to mention Osamu Tezuka, who people refer to as Manga no Kami-sama, or God of Japanese comics. He played a crucial role in post war manga. Being the eldest of three children, he had originally planned to be a physician. He even acquired his degree, but he ultimately chose the path his heart desired, which was animator and manga artist. Osamu had many different styles of manga, which included adventurous and science fiction, as well as romantic fantasy, which was influenced by Disney characters and German fairy tales. His adventurous and science fiction stories derived from American and European tales such as Tarzan and Treasure Island. In the 70s, he even ventured into horror and gothic stories where his characters were losers, ambiguous heroes, misfits, and the graphics tended to be a little bit more violent. Now we finished with art, let's talk about genre. Starting with shonen. This style is targeted at young male audiences, and usually these shows or movies are action packed and have a young hero on the rise, as well as egotistical competition. In the 2014 book written by Colin Odell and Michelle LeBlanc, it states that shonen manga is aimed at boys. They cover a wide range of genres from fantasy, sci fi, sports, martial arts, mecha, and beyond. The heroes are plucky and often have a good heart, striving to achieve their goals. There's plenty of action and usually lots of humor, some of which can be quite bawdy. The opposite of shonen would be shoujo anime, which is aimed at young women or girls. These storylines tend to be a bit more lighthearted and cutesier, as well as having strong friendships, and of course, you can't forget boy drama. Now, to summarize, we discussed the culture of anime and how it derives from Japanese mythology, the art of manga and its role in pop culture, and the different genres of anime. So, whether it be Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, Sailor Moon, or even One Piece, let your imagination run wild. Transport your reality and create your own fantasy. And if you haven't heard what they say, go watch some more anime.